How's it going, guys? The 15th entry into my MMA diary. Um, so I'm gonna be previewing UFC on Fox 19 and also recapping that Ben Rothwell dos Santos card. But for right now, I just wanted to show you. I just got done fighting. I was trying to do that fight night card thing, like the fight picks, and I picked Rose Namajunas to beat Teixeira by decision, and I didn't get the decision. But look at these stats, right? Take knockdown. I knocked her down once. I landed more significant strikes more accurately. I landed more strikes more accurately. I had a better takedown percentage and only one less takedown. I didn't do a submission attempt. I should have, I guess. And I only had 2 less ground passes. How the fuck does she win a decision? I got 67% damage on her head, 29 on her body, and only 4 on her legs. She got 25 on my legs. What the fuck? How come I didn't get that victory? Seriously. Fuck this game. So, we're gonna quit out. Okay. I got a new microphone. I'm talking right into it like I got my face pressed up right against it. So, hopefully it sounds better. But, hopefully it's not too loud, too. Okay, so let's go over last week's card here. Rothwell versus Dos Santos. I had picked, as you can see here, I got the top two fights wrong. But I also got Robert Whiteford wrong as well. I was asleep during the Fight Pass prelims, and I woke up just in time for the FS1 prelims, I think, or it had already started. Either way, not super memorable. Tyson, I got that pick right. Marina Moroz, I got that pick right. Although I thought she would get a submission, it was actually a decision. And I think she got a unanimous decision victory, although she probably shouldn't have. I think she lost one of those rounds for sure. Also, poor Marina Moroz, her boob popped out on TV, but thank God she had her back to the camera. Like, the girl kicked her and her shirt popped down and she's like, "Oh God, wait." And then the other girl like put her hands up to her face like she just saw a ghost or something. I was like, yikes, poor woman. Yes, and then also Jan Blachowicz. He won against Igor Prokhorov. It was an alright fight. But yeah, decision victory there. Gabriel Gonzaga versus Derek Lewis. Gabriel Gonzaga needs to retire. I'm sorry. He had Lewis's back. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He had Derek Lewis's back, and Derek Lewis shucked him off. Like, oh man, I was getting so excited to see that. I was like, yes, Gonzaga's gonna get the submission. Hopefully he can retire after this, or I just didn't want to. I don't want to see him take any more knockouts. His head nearly got ripped off of his body from that Derek Lewis. Like, it was like kind of an uppercut, kind of a cross. His head just was like a bobblehead. It just shook. And Derek Lewis is a scary dude, but I don't like him. I don't like the way he celebrates. I don't like the way he's, nah, I don't like it. He's just too exuberant after someone's laying face down on the mat. Like, I know that's his job to do that, and that he's probably really excited that he won. But maybe have a little respect, because once you lose, I'm sure you'd be kind of upset if someone did that to you. Sounds like he's going to be fighting. Oh, my window's open. All right. I heard that in my headphones. I don't know if you could hear it on the video. Yeah, Derek Lewis sounds like he's gonna be fighting Roy Nelson, somewhere around 200. Probably not on the 200 card. Probably on the Fight Pass card before that, or the Tough Finale card. And then Ben Rothwell versus not Rafael dos Santos. Freaking Junior Dos Santos. That's what I'm trying to say. I gotta flip this paper over here so I can go to my other notes for... I'm holding my microphone as well because I'm not really set up. I have a desk. I just need to get it set up and situated in front of the TV so I can use all that. Okay, so I'm gonna set the microphone down and just try and talk a little louder. Alright, how's that? I don't know. I guess that's alright. I can't really hear myself too great. Screw it. Okay, sorry. I'm getting used to it. I just put it back up into my face here. Alright, I hit the mute button. Alright, come on now. So, Junior Dos Santos versus Big Ben Rothwell did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I thought Ben Rothwell would clinch up with Dos Santos, get him in a submission hold, and finish the fight. No, that's not what happened at all. I hate choosing decisions on this because it takes forever, and you end up sort of knocking someone out along the way. And with a 5-round fight, it's going to take extra long, 25 minutes. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to talk that whole time. Okay. But yeah, Dos Santos looked like a beast. He just picked Ben Rothwell apart every minute of every round. Oh man, at the end of the second, when Junior clipped Ben Rothwell, and then Ben Rothwell sort of staggered, Junior just kicks him in the gut, and Ben Rothwell goes flying across the cage. That was badass. That was really fucking cool. Yeah, Ben Rothwell just looked like trash. He looked totally outclassed. I don't know if he was just not ready. Like, he tried to do that whole stand square and switch stances every so often. But it seems like Junior Dos Santos was well prepared for that and just decided, you know, if you're going to stand square in front of me, I'm not going to go at your head. I'm just going to hit you right in the chest. And he really did a lot of damage to the body.
Every time you see him, you see a new and improved version of him. He has improved dramatically with every single performance we've seen inside the octagon.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed about Ben Rothwell. But, you know, it's a heavyweight division. Stipe Miocic lost to Junior Dos Santos around this time, or like, what was that?
Failed attempt.
That must have been at the end of 2014, I think. So, just over a year. And now he's fighting for the belt next month. So, you know, a loss isn't going to set you too far back in the heavyweight division. What's up?
Evans with a nice straight to the body. Kick to the body. He's hurt. He is in big trouble here. He's wincing in pain. That's a hard hook. Big punches. Big right hand.
Fuck it. Let's just go at him.
He's down. That shot dropped him. That's it. He's out. He's out.
There you go.
Tremendous.
I'll try and waste my own time trying to get these fight picks down. Well, my last video was like almost an hour. And I really went haywire. What's that saying? Buck wild. I really went buck wild on the tags for my YouTube video. So it got like 150 some views, which is way more than I was prepared for. It also got like a dislike too, so someone really didn't like my video. But that's okay. I'm just, you know, just doing my thing. Just talking about bullshit. Just, you know, remembering, trying to make myself remember these fights. Trying to make myself remember the news that's happening every week in the fights and how they happen, some of the highlights in the fights, and you know, the news of the week. So that's what I'm doing. If you like them, you know, you can add to the conversation, put some comments in, let me know why I'm such an idiot or why you agree with me. But other than that, you know, enjoy them. I'm gonna put them on YouTube because they're free. It's free storage for me. They'll probably get taken down eventually, but I ain't gonna buy hard drives to store all this stuff. And, you know, I should write stuff down, but too lazy to do that. So let's go over this card, shall we? Main event, Glover Teixeira versus Evans. Since Tony Ferguson was had to pull out of this pull out of the fight card, pull out of the fight with Habib, because he got some weird injury with his lungs where, like, sounded like there was blood seeping into his lungs or something. It was very disturbing. So, Glover Teixeira versus Sugar Rashad is the new main event, even though, god damn it, this mute button. I'm just gonna talk right into the microphone. You know, let's just go and fight now. Put this on autopilot so I can talk right. Listen to this. It sounds so good right into the microphone. Listen to that. Yeah, listen to that. Rashad Evans versus Glover Teixeira. Boom, boom, boom. Sure, sure. Toyota Center's close enough to Tampa. Closer than MGM or anything. Okay. You know, I was gonna go to this fight. I was trying to talk my girlfriend into buying plane tickets so that we could go down and see this fight card because it was totally stacked when it was first announced. Like, I was very, very intrigued by this fight card. Thank God we didn't, because Shogun pulled out of the fight with Rashad Evans. And, you know, this Teixeira versus Evans is probably a better fight, but I wanted to see Shogun because he's kind of a legend, you know. We're probably never going to get a chance to see Shogun. But he pulled out because he had some sort of little knee injury. He's fighting on 198 now. Glover versus Sugar Rashad Evans is a good fight. Sugar Rashad Evans' last fight against Ryan Bader was not great. Glover Teixeira is pretty good. You know, not a very exciting fighter, but a very solid fighter. I really hope Sugar Rashad Evans can pull it out, get a victory, sort of mounts a little comeback. You know, he's probably, well, you know, light heavyweight's not very stacked, so he could make another title run, but his best days are definitely behind him. Glover Teixeira is not some spring chicken either, you know, he's pretty old too. He's trying to get back to a title shot, so this is sort of a, I'm not going to say a #1 contender fight, and I'm not going to say a loser leaves town fight, but it's not a very exciting light heavyweight fight, let's just put it that way.
Glover Teixeira for a long,
although it is probably pretty important for both fighters. I'm going to take Glover Teixeira.
And now that he is inside the UFC,
you know, that was a stupid thing to say. All fights are very important for both fighters. That's a dumb thing to say. It's just, the importance is heightened by their age. I'm picking Glover Teixeira by decision.
Glover Teixeira sets a point.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if Rashad can use wrestling, get Glover down, and sort of dominate him on the ground, he stands a good chance. But standing and trading, I think Glover has the advantage. I guess they're both the same age. I thought Glover was a little bit older, but
Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, it's not my most anticipated fight on the card. However, Rose Namajunas versus Tisha Torres is, if not my favorite, it's my second favorite fight on the card. Rose Namajunas is coming off that great victory against Paige Van Zant at UFC 194, the Fight Pass prelims. Not Fight Pass prelims, the Fight Pass card. That was that 3-card weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. She looked awesome, like she dominated. Tisha Torres, undefeated professionally. She lost 2 fights in that Ultimate Fighter show she was in. But she beat Rose Namajunas in Invicta, so, you know, she stands a good chance. I haven't even picked a fighter yet here. I was going back and forth on this game to decide who I wanted to play as, or who I wanted to pick, just going off their like skills in the game. And Tisha Torres, you know, Tiny Tornado, does not have the reach Rose Namajunas has. And Rose is kind of a grimy fighter, like she likes to grind it out. And Tisha Torres is more of like a,
fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 24 wins.
you know, she's more of a brawler.
He stands 6 feet tall.
whereas Rose sort of likes to smother. Does that make any sense?
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
I really like Tisha Torres. I really like Rose Namajunas. I'm really excited for this fight because I'm excited for whoever's gonna win. I'm gonna be really bummed for whoever loses because I'm a Midwestern dude. I don't like to see people fail and fail in, you know, the public. Yeah, I'm doing terrible in this episode. Fail in the eyes of the public, you know. Like both of these fighters, as with most fighters in the strawweight division, are young and they're sort of inexperienced. They're starting off their career in the biggest organization in the world with everyone watching them, expecting them to you know, be great. So, you know, I'm really split on this. I think I'm gonna pick Tisha Torres.
Good combinations.
I'm not wild about that pick, but I think I'm gonna. No.
Going for it here. Beautiful body shot there too.
We'll come back to it. I still haven't decided. Habib Nurmagomedov. Oh God. Habib Nurmagomedov versus Daryl Horcher. The last second replacement for Tony Ferguson. Not last second. I guess he had a week to prepare. Yeah. If you have $20 that you don't care if you lose it. Or you just spend it, you know. I'd go and put $20 down on Daryl Horcher because he's going to be a huge underdog, and he might, you know,
3 minutes.
get a pretty hefty return on that 20. Maybe you get like 100. I think he's a minus 800 underdog, or what the hell, an 800. Okay, so if you're positive, you're an underdog. So plus 800 underdog. So yeah, so I'm definitely picking Habib here. I think Habib's going to just destroy him. And then he's going to fight Tony Ferguson in May, probably. Or, yeah, you know what? I bet that's going to happen if Habib's healthy. I bet that would happen because there's some news about the light heavyweights later in the show. Stay tuned. Okay, so Cub Swanson versus Hakran Diaz.
Good connection by Teixeira.
Cub Swanson's coming off a pretty lengthy sabbatical. He got pretty fucked up by that Frankie. Who knows? He got fucked up by Frankie Edgar, but he also got fucked up by Max Holloway too, I think.
He's now working from
I don't know who was the last. I know Frankie Edgar. I think Frankie Edgar busted his jaw. But Cub Swanson's badass. Hakran Diaz is pretty good too. But I'm going to go with Cub Swanson. And here's probably my most anticipated fight on the card. Is the featured prelim is Beneil Dariush versus Michael Chiesa. And I haven't picked a fighter in this one either. I just, in my fight picks, I picked Michael Chiesa by submission in the second. But I have a feeling that this is going to be a very good fight. Like, Beneil Dariush is pretty good. Pretty good. Michael Chiesa's pretty young still. He's coming off that victory of Jim Miller on that same card where Rose crushed Paige.
He's doing a great job of moving and transitioning here on the ground.
That's a pick'em to me. It's the same as Rose and Tisha. I like both of those guys, but I guess I like Michael Chiesa more, so I'm just going to root for him. So I'm going to pick Michael Chiesa there. But I just think that's going to be one of the best fights on the card.
Here's a nasty head.
Betch Correa versus Rocky Pennington. I don't think either of these fighters are very good, and therefore I find it hard to pick who's going to win. Rocky Pennington, she got her... Well, you know what? She didn't get her ass kicked by Holly Holm. That was more of like a very boring fight where Holly Holm just was technically better than her. Betch Correa, she really doesn't have any names on her resume, like at all. Like, she beat Jessamine Duke, like, congratulations, so was everyone else. She got her ass kicked by Ronda. That was way too big of a step up, so maybe Rocky versus Betch Correa is probably the right fight level for her. I didn't pick anyone here either, but I guess now that I'm looking at it, I'm just going to go Betch. Just so that maybe it'll make Ronda look a little better if Betch can knock Rocky out pretty quick. That'd be pretty fun. I don't know. That's not. It's a couple of names that you recognize, but they're just not great. John Dodson versus Manny Gamburian is the featured prelim on Fight Pass. John Dodson, he's moving up to bantamweight for this fight. John Dodson's pretty badass. Like that dude's good.
Evans with some big.
Manny Gamburian, he trains with Edmund Targaryen, or Targaryen, I forget how you say his name. Out of or no, with Ronda. He's one of Ronda's coaches as well.
It's getting bad. Full back.
The fight picks on this game here pretty favorably pick John Dodson. Like, they don't give Manny Gamburian any chance. I like Manny. I like him a lot. I think he's pretty solid, but I'm picking John Dodson. I think it should be a better fight than most people are gonna think, though. Yeah, John Dodson at 135. He's a little small for 135, which is kind of weird to say since 125 and 135 isn't that big of a weight jump. But you know, he's got a smaller frame. They don't a lot of 135ers. Yeah, so those are my fight picks. You know what?
He's got one leg free. He's in half guard now.
There goes a motorcycle. Yeah, Rose Namajunas versus Tisha Torres. Holy shit.
Almost had the armbar. He's got his back.
Man.
Evans has got the full mount again.
God damn it. Here's some other fighters I'm excited to see on the card. Oluwale Holy War Angel Bamgose. I think that's how you say his name. That dude, last time I saw him, he scared the shit out of me. Like, that guy's very scary. If he can start stringing some wins together, I'd be pretty pumped because he's fucking scary. Oh god, Francis Ngannou or whatever, last card, the Teixeira or the Rothwell versus Dos Santos card. That dude is fucking built. Like, I remember seeing him earlier this year. Oh god. I remember seeing him earlier this year and had no idea who he was, but was totally terrified of him. Like, he's he's insanely built. He's a heavyweight. That dude's scary as fuck. I'm really excited for that dude. Now that I just remembered that. Another fighter I'm excited to see, Randy Brown. They're looking for a fight guy. He's his second fight this year. I don't know who he's fighting, but I'm excited to see him. And Court McGee, all-around good guy, Court McGee, fighting as well in the prelims here.
The takedown late in the round.
I'm gonna pick Tisha Torres. I'm just gonna do it. I like both of the fighters a lot. I'm just gonna pick Tisha Torres. I'm just gonna do it. If Rose wins, I would not be shocked at all. Okay, you might have noticed no Lyoto Machida and Dan Henderson. Why? Because Lyoto Machida admits to USADA that he took a banned substance.
Here's a nice double leg takedown.
And they called the fight off. Lyoto Machida saying that it was just recently banned, but it turns out that was actually banned for some years. It doesn't seem like it was some major supplement, but you know, if it's on the banned substance list, you can't take it. Good on Lyoto for admitting that he took it, and you know, that's nice of him, I guess. It really sucks for Dan Henderson though. Like, you almost wish Lyoto would have just took the fight, and you know, got Dan Henderson paid. Hopefully they still pay Dan Henderson, because he's an old dude, you know. I don't know. I think he just likes fighting. I don't think he really needs the money, but it sucks having to go through a full training camp, get to the fight week, and then have your opponent pull out.
Nice knee to the body by
yeah, I'm really bummed out. Lyoto Machida was one of my favorite fighters of all time. The crane kick on Randy Couture. Get out of here.
That big right hand.
I just love the way Lyoto Machida fought, and you know, if he gets a 2-year suspension, that's probably the end of his career. He's probably gonna be able to talk it down to like 6 or 9 months or something because he fessed up to USADA. I'm sure they're gonna have some sort of you know, forgiveness thing since he owned up to it right away. But yeah, it totally sucks for Dan Henderson. Okay, couple of fight announcements here. BJ Penn versus Dennis Siver set for UFC 199 in Los Angeles. Dennis Siver is just going to be a fucking stomping mat for however long he stays in the UFC. They fed him to Conor McGregor. They fed Dennis Siver to Conor McGregor so Conor McGregor could get a title shot. Dennis Seaver was Conor McGregor's final rung in the ladder to a title shot. That's terrible. So Dennis Seaver's going to be a doormat for BJ Penn, and if BJ Penn loses to Dennis Seaver, get the fuck out of here. BJ, come on. You can't lose to Dennis Seaver. July 7th, Fight Pass card, the same weekend as 200. It's going to be a lightweight title fight. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Eddie Alvarez for the 155 title. I'm kind of surprised they gave Eddie Alvarez the title shot, but, you know, now that it's going to be on Fight Pass, you know, I'm alright with it. I wouldn't have been alright paying for that fight, you know. Eddie Alvarez really just sort of ground out a win against Anthony Pettis in the most unexciting way possible. Like, that was one of the really good fights on that Boston card for Cruz versus Dillashaw. Like, I was so pumped about that, and then that fight sucked. So we're gonna see. Oh, and just think, RDA was gonna headline 196 with Conor McGregor.
Is so excessive.
He was gonna make so much money, and now he's on the Fight Pass, featured Fight Pass bout. My phone's blowing up here. What happened?
Oh, big one. Wrestling dominance. Moves into north-south.
So
15 seconds now. Side control.
what the hell?
Half guard. Round 3 is in the books.
My girlfriend just got a follow. Just got a follow from Jose Batista. Like, the legit Jose Batista.
To the body. And here's another.
Okay, yeah, that's very strange. She doesn't even tweet. She tweeted, like, about cheese fries once and about Cherry Berry, like at a Timberwolves game.
Amazing.
That's strange.
In that round. The beautiful.
So yeah, that weekend, that UFC 200 weekend's gonna be Thursday, RDA versus Eddie Alvarez for 155. Friday, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Claudia Gadelha for 115. And then interim 145 between Frankie and Jose. The 135 women's, Misha and Amanda Nunes. And then it's also going to be a 5-rounder between Nate and Connor. So that's five round fights in 3 days. That's pretty crazy. And who knows what's going to happen with Robbie Lawler still. Maybe they put him on that card.
Let's take a look at this.
It'd be very strange to see that many 5-round fights in that short of time. I'm sure not all of them are going to go the full 5 rounds, but, you know, that RDA Eddie Alvarez fight, who knows if that Anthony Pettis fight is any indication about what Eddie Alvarez will do to win. Who knows, maybe he'll just hold RDA the whole time. Yeah, I shouldn't be ripping Eddie Alvarez. He's getting up there. This is probably his only shot at UFC gold. You know, go and get it. But, yeah, I'm excited for that fight, I guess. All in all, since it's on Fight Pass, that's kind of awesome.
Just over 3.
Okay, there's a Bellator show this weekend in Italy, I think. I don't really know who's fighting on it. I think one of the Pitbull brothers is. We're starting getting closer to all the good Bellator shows, like with Benson Henderson and Phil Davis and King Mo, and Michael Chandler and Josh Thompson and all that. Okay, my final news and note. Well, nope. There's one more. Frank Mir got popped for potential banned substance after his fight against Mark Hunt. So he's. I'm not going to make any judgments because that Yoel Romero thing taught us not to jump to conclusions with fighters, because who knows, they might have just took a substance that was tainted. You know, who knows.
Really bad.
Frank Mir, not exactly the most exciting fighter of all time. It sucked to have him, you know, leave, because you can never get enough decent heavyweights.
Flatten him out.
You know, bummer. Bummer for him. Bummer for Lyoto. Rashad's done.
Teixeira, he's out. It's over. It is all over.
All right, look at that. Wraps up just in time for MMA officially getting legalized in New York. First card will be UFC 205 at MSG. And that's all I got for you guys. Next week, we are going to be going over this card, this UFC on Fox 19. and previewing 197, which is headlined by Mighty Mouse versus Henry Cejudo for the 125 belt, and then interim light heavyweight between John Jones and OSP, Ovince St. Peru. Also on that card, Edson Barbosa versus Anthony Pettis.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm sure there's something else that's pretty decent too, but I'm just not remembering right now. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time in the 16th entry of my MMA diary. But for now, this is the 15th one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.